Hey guys, TGKS Productions. So today we got first details on the upcoming GTA Online DLC expected to release Tuesday, December 13th, as well as some changes and improvements that are going to be coming in that update. Now, I will say this article doesn't contain a ton of information regarding the content coming in the next DLC. I would expect more info over the next few days, likely when the event week changes, probably like Thursday or Friday, as we are getting close to the expected release. So the article starts off with Rockstar thanking the devoted GT Online community. They talk about how the Halloween event was the largest ever. They even mentioned the Sprunkity Cool event, their community series that they started, and how we were able to reach collectively the whole community $4 trillion and the Heist Challenge. Now, as a result of reaching or completing the heist challenge, the goal, which initially was $1 trillion, but we were able to reach $4 trillion, which is just insane. They did promise us a special reward, which appears to be a vehicle very similar to when we were able to reach the $100 billion challenge back in 2020, and that is the Class A Tahoma Coupe. And at the top of the Newswire article, we have a picture of what this vehicle is going to look like. It appears to be based off of an 80s Monte Carlo, possibly the Monte Carlo SS. And this vehicle is going to be free for the entire community for a certain period of time once it releases. Rockstar's also made it very clear in this Newswire article there's going to be a suite of adjustments, changes and improvements that are becoming in this DLC for free mode and beyond. We saw in the summer update, the Criminal Enterprise DLC, a ton of changes and improvements, probably some of the most in really any DLC ever in GT Online. And I'm very happy they're building on this. In fact, they say they're taking this straight from our feedback, and they do list some of these below that are going to be coming in this upcoming update. And then also, if you take a look at this picture here before we get into those changes and improvements, it looks like we have a player sitting in a high-end apartment. He's on his phone, and he's highlighting or hovering over this contact Dax. And that appears to be a new character that we're going to be getting or associating with in this upcoming DLC. In fact, TesFun2 made a post a few days ago from someone in the GTA forums that actually has a little bit of information regarding this next DLC. He refers to, or he mentions Dax, this new character who is referred to as the Juggalo boss. And we also are supposedly going to get a new property, hideout, or warehouse. New missions that can be done solo or up to 4 players, reference to an acid lab, and then also new collectibles, and then dead drop package, and a fast travel taxi service. This is just some of what we can expect in this next DLC, but just sort of shows that this new character, he's referred to as a Juggalo boss. Now, as far as a Juggalo, I'm not really sure what they're referring to here. Just a little bit of like research I did. First thing that pops up is a Juggalo is a fan of a hip hop group, Insane Clown Posse, or any other hip hop group signed to Psychopathic Records. Now, Rockstar did, or there was, I shouldn't say Rockstar, but there was a little bit of rumors going around that there's going to be a new sort of like mix system. I believe it was either Rappinator or Beatinator. I forget what the exact name was, but supposedly it's going to allow players to make their own beats in GTA Online with this update. If that's the case, this might not be too far off, but again, I have no idea if I'm even close to thinking what this definition could be of a Juggalo boss, but I just found that interesting. I figured I'd share that with you guys. So moving on to some general improvements we have coming in this update. There's 4 listed here. We're now going to be able to hide contacts via the interaction menu in GTA Online, the phone contacts. I don't know why it took this long to have something like this in GTA Online, but I know a lot of players are definitely going to love being able to hide contacts because the calls can be very annoying after a while. And then now the Benefactor Terabyte, you're going to be able to start business sales from there, sell missions, even in invite-only sessions. I hope they also fix the bug for being able to source special cargo from the Terabyte, because that seems to be a bug ever since Criminal Enterprise DLC. But before, you could only just source, you could do complete source missions in the Terabyte. Now you could do sell missions, so that's awesome. You also now be able to play the casino story missions solo. Before, you had to have at least 2 other players, so that is nice. And then it looks like we're going to have like a little bit more of a graphical enhancement for players on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and X, specifically the expanded enhanced version that is going to be specifically shown in fidelity mode. We have 4 vehicle updates listed here, one being that purchased vehicles will now arrive to your garage faster. I know with the Criminal Enterprise DLC, we saw that the mechanic will deliver vehicles faster when you call them. So now purchased vehicles will be delivered to your garage faster, so that's nice. You can now select custom weaponized vehicles in races, although the weapons will be disabled. You can now call bicycles from your mechanic. That was never an option before. You always had to go to your garage to be able to use one. And then now the expand enhanced players, specifically on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, will now be able to access how special works without having to complete that original intro or that sort of cutscene takes place with that first time trial he makes you complete. Looks like you're now going to be able to skip that and just go right into his works. And lastly, for economy updates, we have 2 listed here, almost sort of 3. But we have vehicle cargo sell missions in public sessions will now award a high demand bonus, which is nice because before, whether you were in an invite-only session or public lobby, this was the only business that didn't award a high demand bonus, so that is nice. And then smuggler sales missions will be permanently tripled. That is awesome because arguably the pay for the amount of time it takes for you to fill up your hangar is the worst, I would say, out of all businesses in GTA Online. So very excited about that. And then lastly, looks like shark cards will be boosted 20-25% when purchased directly in GTA Online via any of the platform stores, and this will stack on top of the 15% bonus for GTA Plus members. So it looks like you'll be able to get like a 35 to 40% bonus if you're a GTA Plus member. And lastly, for this Newswire article, probably the more interesting info that we have regarding the next DLC. Rockstar talks about these experience improvements and more will arrive alongside next GTA Online update for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC coming later this month. Take a walk on the wild side of Blaine County in the first installment of a massive multi-part update taking you all across the expansive southern San Andreas, featuring some familiar faces and a new troupe of entrepreneurial misfits on a mission to expand the minds of the citizens of Los Santos, one trip at a time. Plus, expect a fleet of new vehicles, world events, contact missions, and more. Now, probably the most interesting part of this entire paragraph here is that Rockstar states that this is the first installment of a massive multi-part update. So I don't know exactly what that's going to all entail. We've had extensions of updates in the past as far as drip feed content. Rockstar seems to make it look like that is much more than that. It's it's going to be almost like mini updates as time goes on, or maybe over a few months. We saw that a little bit with the Criminal Enterprise DLC. We had like bigger groupings of drip feed content as opposed to just getting a car. We would maybe receive a car, a weapon, and like collectibles, such as like when we got the service carbine, the LD organics, and I forget exactly what vehicle was we got at that time, but we did get a vehicle also. So I'm very interested to see how that is going to take place. And we do have a screenshot here, and there's a few things we can take away as far as some content is going to be coming in this upcoming DLC. First off, the location is a convenience store just outside or around the area of Sandy Shores, actually probably even in Sandy Shores. In story mode, and I guess even online, Chef, a character who's associated with Trevor, runs a meth lab here. In fact, there are a few instances where the player, your character in GTA Online, is associated with Chef. There is the Lost contract that came in the Los Santos Tuners update, as well as I Know You Deliver a tanker here in the Series A funding heist and one of the setups. However, it looks like the character that's going to be returning, that's going to be working with us, is Ron. In fact, if you look at the character close to the car on the right, who has the hat on, so the blue flannel, that character has a knee brace, and Ron, as we've seen in GTA Online and story mode, has a knee brace. So whether Trevor and Chef return with him, we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like Ron, at the least, will be returning and will be working with him. But as far as some of the new content we're getting, there's 2 things in particular I can pick out. One is this taxi cab. Now, also, Tez Fun mentioned there's going to be a fast travel service that is going to be a taxi cab. So it looks like that's what this is going to be. It's definitely a very old vehicle, like a maybe late 40s, 50s vehicle. I'm not really sure exactly what it's based off of. I came up with maybe like a late 40s, 50s Plymouth taxi. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, definitely a very old vehicle, maybe one of the oldest vehicles we even have or will end up having in GTA Online. And then in the background, we also have a Brigade. Now, You may notice the Brigade is customized here. It has a livery on it and then also a wedge similar to what you see on the nightclub sale vehicles. That's very interesting because as of now, the Brigade is not a customizable vehicle. So we may be able to customize in this update. We might be even using it for something. And lastly, we have a red journey in the background. Now, I believe you can purchase this vehicle from Pegasus, and it always comes in sort of this like rusty color. In fact, if you ever see it out and about in the world of Los Santos, it's going to be in a rusty color. So the fact that it's red may also mean that you can customize the journey as well. But again, we'll also have to wait and see. And the end of this newswire just has Rockstar thanking us again, and then they confirm that they to expect much, much more soon. So we should be receiving more news in the coming days. In any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it extremely beneficial. I'm definitely very excited to receive more information on this upcoming DLC. Again, expected to release Tuesday, December 13th. Please, if you like, subscribe, share this video. Be sure to comment if you have any questions, and have a great day.